Okay, we have one more presentation, panel, discussion, questions before the lunch break. Please stay with us. We're going to take a step back now. We've just been hearing all about how to be successful on social media, and that content, innovation, imagination are these key ingredients that we're all looking for. But before we can start thinking about marketing opportunities, we need, of course, to get our hands on the raw materials. Whether you're a club or a sponsor or a platform, what you first need is naturally the player. To get your hands on the next Cristiano Ronaldo, to unearth future gems. And here to tell us how you can find your next superstar from the comfort of your canapé is Matteo Campodonico, founder and CEO of Wyscout.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. Of course, speaking after Twitter, YouTube, and Google is a bit crazy for me. They changed our life. Of course, for that I appreciated that they revolutionized the world, not just the world of football, but our. Wyscout, we are a really small company compared to the biggest in the world. But in our small niche market, we made a small revolution. So I think when Marcel asked me to come here, I think we are a sort of a sample for thousands of startuppers that every day try to change the world. A question for me, looking at the stage before, is there any space for another big platform? Because when we started 10 years ago, just YouTube were there, but no Twitter, no Facebook. So in 5 years, can we see another one? What we need? What is the hidden need in the? So that is really interesting. But speaking about our company, I told you we are a sample of a startup. We started with a simple idea. I'm the founder of the company. I started with a friend of mine in a very, very simple way, mixing my coach and my uncle, because my coach used to show me videos. I played at not professional level, but I had a coach that used to show me Baggio before going in the pitch and try to reply what Baggio did. My uncle used to produce DVD with the pictures of his son. So one day I just thought, oh, if I would be able to create a DVD with a menu divided in categories, goals, offensive action, defensive action, that could be useful for the coaches. That was the simple idea. So we started. One day with such a job, I asked a friend of mine, hey Simone, do you think we can go recording a game and producing a DVD? Today, of course, it's quite simple. But 10 years ago, no one did that. So one day, we buy a camera, we buy a PC, we started recording local games, producing such a DVD for the coach, local coach. But one day we thought, okay, let's try. We have nothing to lose. So I wrote a letter to a Serie A coach, Mr. Coach, we are two local guys, we are no one, but we have this idea, we are doing this job for some local teams. Please take the DVD, watch it, and tell us, do you like? The friend of mine went to the training ground, waited for the coach. The coach came out with a Porsche, signed made an autograph. So, no, coach, it's for you. The coach came back to home, and the day after, Genoa, Serie A team, called me. The coach watched the DVD, he liked, he wants to start working with you. For me, it was a crazy day. I remember every single moment. We started becoming professional. As a hobby, we started working in professional world. So, just do it. You have to try. Wyscout, I founded Wyscout 10 years ago. Initially, really a garage. Then we met an investor, an angel, that believed in our ideas. Of course, today we are not producing DVD. I will tell you later what we are doing now, but we are not producing and filming games. We need 6 years before finding the business. We changed, we pivoting a lot of times. We spend money for nothing. We had a lot of ideas, but we needed 5 years before finding the right strategy. Today, we are a 200 people company with a Serie A round for capital growth, and we are thinking about news idea also. Why not entering the social media market? Now we are focused on the sports side of football. So the garage, I told you, was really a garage. Where we are, I think that is really important, because today everything can happen everywhere. So you can be in Berlin. Berlin is a great area for startups. There are a lot of young guys here trying to make something in the world. But it could be everywhere. I'm from Chiavari. Our company is there. Chiavari is in Genoa, is near Genoa, Portofino, Cinque Terre, that's Chiavari. And the most common job is fishing. So I'm telling that because really everything is possible today. Technology is a big help for everyone in the world. Our first office was the student flat of my partners. Our first car was really not a Bentley. But we started with a 2,000 euro investment. Really. Our first investment was a PC, a camera, a Manfrotto, and a Windows Movie Maker. But one day, we met an investor that believed in our idea. The idea was starting working with the clubs. I used to travel and visiting the sport directors. And the most common thing that I noticed that in the sport director's desk, there was a lot of DVDs produced by the agents, player agents, with the highlights of the players. And before Wyscout, the most common way to buy a player was starting from the DVD sent by the agent. It's quite crazy that a 3 billion transfer industry, the starting point was a DVD produced by the agent. We noticed that there was DVD produced by some agency in the world where the player was a bit faster. The video was accelerated a bit, but the player seems better. And of course, everyone that plays football could be a good player. If I take 10 actions from myself, I can be a good player. And one day, I was with the sport director of Rome, Sabatini, the last day of the transfer window, he couldn't find a DVD. He needed to buy a player, and he couldn't find the DVD because hundreds and probably thousands of DVDs on your desk. So after that day, the idea was, OK, we have to help clubs, we have to help agents in the scouting. We have to change how clubs scout players. And that was the idea. A sort of big private YouTube organized by player. So we started. Just from a business point of view, with this idea, we started looking for money. Because, of course, today, to starting up, you need money. You can do something with 2,000 euro. So we started looking for money. We find the investors. And, of course, the lesson we learned by him was that, first of all, do invest in people. You can have an idea, but first of all, people. The idea can change. You can pivot, and so on. Practice patience, because I think, according to our experience, it's quite impossible to invent Facebook in one day. Of course, it could happen, but it's 1 out of 10,000 startup. Today, everyone speaks about startup in digital, also in sports digital, football digital, but it's not. You need time, you need patience. Just to give you an example, we changed our name of the company 5 times before to finding. So we started with a very, very simple name, because we used to record games, so sport video service. Then we trying to figure out something more hot. So we find the name Wyscout, but then the Nintendo came out with the Wii. So we had offices at the ground level, and people came in asking for the Nintendo. So we thought, OK, we are no one. So before getting in trouble with Nintendo, let's change the name. So we put Y Sport. But then to arrive at the end of the month to pay salaries, football was at the end, 2009, was still enough for us. So we needed to cut sports, because we started working in other areas. We produce web TV for other sectors. Just to tell that it's a hard job. You need passion. You need people. You need not to be alone. At the end, when we find out the product, okay, we started. Okay, that's our strategy, to become the biggest football database in the world. Wyscout today is the biggest football database in the world. We scout more than 200,000 players. We analyze player by player, action by action, more than 1,000 games per week. If you think that Serie A is 10 games, we are analyzing 1,000. So today we are a company with more than 200 employees, 200,000 player profile, 1,000 games analyzed per week. We work with 450 professional clubs, 30 federations. We work directly with the leagues. 85% of Champions League clubs are our customers. Of course, we are quite proud of that. We have an international reputation that is growing. But of course, we never stop to think. It's a big result. Starting from 0, we are really proud. This is our product, just to let you know, because I think no one knows, because Wyscout is a sort of professional tool. We are not, till now, we are not being in the media side. We are a B2B company, not a B2C. But that is the platform used to scout player, to make match analysis and player transfer. That is probably, we have also a sample. Yeah, this is the database. You click on Italy, every league of Italy is analyzed. You click on Serie B, you click on Entella, that is the clubs of our town. You have information about the players. You have transfer information, performance information, transfer history. You can get in touch in a sort of LinkedIn with the players, with the agent, with the club. You can just click in on assist, and you see assist. It's a sort of indexed YouTube. We analyze, I told you, game per game, action by action. So, it's a big job. For that, we are a 200 people company. What can do Wyscout today? Of course, Wyscout can be used to find a new superstar in the pitch. Through data, through video, we are the biggest community of football professional, after FIFA, of course, but we are an operating business community. The football is becoming global and global, so for a German club doesn't need Wyscout to get in contact with a Qatari club. With a German club, but they need Wyscout to get in contact with a club in Qatar, a club in Mexico, a club in Brazil, because when we started entering the football market, we noticed that football market is, from a football side, is not so advanced. It is really advanced in the media side, because I was heard before. But there is a big space to change, to improve the football. So, to finish, what I learned from our history is that, of course, the idea is really important, but it's not enough. You need the right timing to enter the market with an idea. You have to be able to pivot your idea, to change it. You must be free to change it, to tell, okay, I made a mistake. You need technology. Of course, Wyscout is a great technology platform. But, of course, we are able to make the most from when the technology came out. Just to give you some example, when the iPad came out, we immediately bought 100 and sent as a present to the sport directors in Europe. A lot of sport directors called us, telling us, oh, what a big invention you did. That's really. Today, of course, when mobile came out, and so I think you have to look at the technology evolution and make the most. For example, now with Google Glasses, of course, for us, is the natural evolution of scouting. Because if you have to scout a player in Zweite Bundesliga, okay, you can get everything. But if you want to scout a young player in Brazil, okay, technology today can help you a lot. So people, of course, today, I think that the modern companies need people, need a team of trusted people to work together. Tomorrow, of course, what we learn is that you can't stop improving. You can't stop developing. You can stop thinking. So every day we ask ourselves, what will be Wyscout in 5 years? Can we be a new social media? Why not? Can we be a new content provider for media? Why not? We have a lot of contents. Can we enter the women football market? Why not? And so on. Can we enter other sports? So every day we think about the next step of the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Matteo. Come and take a seat next to me for a couple of minutes so we can continue the discussion and take any questions from the floor. So from a town of fishermen, you've been now fishing for footballers. Yeah. Have you replaced agents in a way? I mean, is it what you've done moving aside the need for clubs to go to agents?
Yeah, surely we work with the agent because first of all, we changed the way they are promoting players. Before there was the DVD, today is Wyscout. In our system, we have a sharing system. They can select in action, player by player, and send it to the clubs. From a transfer point of view, surely Wyscout is disintermediating a bit. We are not agents. We have a business model based on subscription through internet, but of course today in international transfers, there are more or less 4 agents involved. We think that's too much, because we believe that agents, the market needs the agent. We are seeing that for a club, a lot of times it's quite easy to pass through the agent before getting directly with another club. So I think agent will be part of the market also if the name won't be agent, but representative. I don't know how, but players can be transferred by themselves. That's clear.
Do you have any questions from the floor, please? Yes. There's a chap over there. 1,000 games a week.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Philip Herman from Adventure. I have a question regarding crowdsourcing. Have you thought about maybe potential competition coming out of crowdsourcing? I know a couple of projects in the US where they try to use parents on the side or even spectators to film, analyze, and have something like a crowdsourcing base for the data you need.
No, surely we know that something can happen everywhere, and it's quite normal for us to look at what is happening in other markets, in other sports, in other countries. For that, I'm telling you, the market is growing. If you think that there are only in Italy 20,000 games per week, 20,000, because scouting is not about just Real Madrid. We started working in Syria with the Syria clubs, and they told us, okay, we need to scout Brazil and Argentina. Okay, let's start. Then we take some clubs in UK. They told us, for us, Scandinavia region. Okay, Scandinavia region, I remember Rosenborg told us, Latvia, we need Latvia. Wow, Latvia. Latvia, they need to go deeper in Latvia. So, third division clubs in Germany need to scout 4th division. There is a level where clubs became semi-professional, but where the coach is paid, and they need systems. Then there is another level where in the not professional clubs, but where the videos are in the community for that social. It will be, I played, not professional, it will be crazy for me to have now the videos when I played. There's no a place. For that, I'm telling you, there is a space for another social media. We don't know, but we think there is some space.
Anybody else? Anyway, if you need a left back from Chile who can cross well, or is strong in defense, or is 1.82 m, and we give you all these details.
Yeah,
and you guys
of course, analyzing the games, we produce a lot of data, statistics. We can produce an advanced search based on parameters, age, performances. You can put together the heat map of the players. For example, when Borussia Dortmund last summer bought Immobile to substitute Lewandowski, we were really curious. So we compared all the heat map we have for the central forward in the top 5. We find out that Immobile heat map was quite similar to the Lewandowski heat map. So that was the club used to do. They can do today, introducing statistics as a first filter to scouting players.
And that's how they found the perfect replacement for Lewandowski, even though difficult player to replace. Okay, great. Thanks very much, Matteo, and for your Wyscout story.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Stay there a second. Okay, we're going to break now. It's time to stretch your legs and have something to eat, have a drink, swap some business cards, and go and meet up with people that have been on the panels. We'll be back here at 1 o'clock sharp, please, to continue our day and continue finding out how to turn love into money. Bon appétit.